What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and we got some UFC mid-year awards of 2021, and the top five is the pay-per-view. So top five pay-per-views of mid 2021. This has been a really good year for pay-per-views. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what number one's gonna be, but I hope you guys enjoy the list. I think this is a pretty fair list. Um, but yeah, man, I actually had some fun doing it. Recalling some of the pay per views and just thinking about the main cards. Now, obviously, I do have a question for y'all. Do you guys consider a pay per view just only the main card, or do you guys add the prelims? Because then maybe I could switch some of these up, but I'm kind of looking at it just from the main card point of view. So that's why maybe some of these, in your humble opinion, should be higher than others, right? Or should be lower than others, but it is what it is. Let's get to number five. I gotta go with UFC 257, the card to start it off, man. Honestly, the main event, the co-main event, really stole the show. Those guys delivered. You had Armin Sarukian in there. He kind of had a decent performance against Matt Favola. But the knockout of Chandler had over Dan Hooker, and then the insanity in the main event with Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. That just stealed the show, honestly. And there was nothing, fucking anything that Joanne Calderwood and and fucking Jessica I could do to ruin that. Those two things back to back. That was nonsense and craziness, man. It was heartbreaking for me to see Dan go out like that. Even though I picked Connor in the rematch, I didn't, there wasn't one shed of of sadness that went to McNuggets, but I was just in utter shock. So like when you watch a show and it leaves you fucking shocked like that, it has to be a good show, right? So maybe the card, the prelims weren't the best, and maybe even the whole main card wasn't great, but the two featured bouts delivered. So it is what it is. At number four, I gotta go with UFC 259. On paper the card was great. The prelims were pretty good. The prelims really killed it. I was on the edge of my seat. The Carlos Ulberg fight with Kennedy, that was craziness. Then Kyler Phillips, doing what he did to Song Yadong, that was nuts. Dominic Cruz's comeback. Joseph Benavidez losing to Askar Askarov, that was somewhat interesting to watch. The main card, on the other hand, was it was man, it you had Alexander Rakic versus Thiago Santos, that didn't really deliver. You had Drew Dober and Makachev, which was an interesting fight and a very good performance from Makachev. And what else? And then you had the Aljamain Sterling and Peter Yan fight, which it wasn't a bad fight. Aljo did win a round. I think he won the second, but it was very just evident to see how much levels above Yan was to Aljo. For me, I thought it was going to be a great fight, but I just thought Jan was just going to dig deeper in those championship rounds and kind of break Aljo. But it looked like he broke Aljo after the third round, or even like the mid of the second. So it's like, even though Aljo won, you could just see it like this wasn't going to end well for him. He was going to eventually, break down. And, so that was interesting. Then the Megan Anderson finish, and then obviously the great Jan Blachowicz doing what he did was fucking the community service, just service the whole entire world by not letting Adesanya get two belts. But in terms of great fights, there wasn't necessarily a great fight, but I will say there was a lot of shock value on the card. And it was a good card. It was it was very career altering card. A lot of careers got changed after this. We're gonna look back and this was a big card in history, but I don't know, man. It was interesting. I'm not going to say it was boring or that it didn't live up to expectations. It just wasn't a blockbuster. It was more of a weird saga, and just a lot of weird things happened. It wasn't boring. I'll say that. I will defend the card on there. It wasn't a letdown, but I enjoyed it. But it is what it is. Obviously, some people didn't enjoy it because of the main event, but I enjoyed it for sure. And at number three, I gotta go with UFC 262. Now, I know some of you guys might be ready to kill me over this. This card, I saw a lot of people call it boring, right? I know the Tony Ferguson fight with Beneil Dariush didn't live up to expectations, but man, Shane Burgos versus Edson Barboza was a great fight. Jacare, obviously that was, I think that was that main card? I remember it was on Verdict. Jacare versus Muniz was craziness. Now then, I know you had that stinker of a fight with what's her face? You know, Caitlin Chukagian and Viviana. Even though I thought Viviana won that fight, but then you had the Bontero and what's his name? Basically the Bontero fight. I thought that was really fun to watch. And yeah, obviously the Beneil domination of Tony was interesting to me. And then the main event. The main event was, it was beautiful. For me, probably this is the only reason I'm putting it on here, was the destruction of Michael Chandler. To see that man get folded like that and murked, and almost just a form of, I wouldn't even call it revenge. It was like Oliveira putting the roses, you know, to Hooker's funeral, almost letting him know, I got your back, homie. I'm gonna take care of this fool. And it was beautiful like that. And I didn't even do good on the card, I'll be honest with you, but just seeing the outcome, just getting that right, at least the Oliveira fight, and seeing that idiot get tooled, and almost my film study being like basically correct, it was really good. So it was fun for me to watch that, and yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. Steroid punk couldn't get his way this time. And at number 2, I gotta go with UFC 260. I mean, this card was nuts. First, you start off the main card with Kama Worthy getting knocked the F out, which was crazy. Then you had the Sean O'Malley performance versus Thomas Almeida. Then you had T. Wood, Vicente Luque, which was nonsense. And then you had the motherfucking main event, Francis fucking Ngannou versus Stipe Miocic. This was a very, very big fight for me. I loved it. I thought the countdown was beautiful. I thought the promotion was beautiful. I just thought the fight overall was just great. And just, I mean, Francis's evolution to this moment. I mean, this is, in my humble opinion, what pay-per-views and title fights are made for, almost. It just was a great story, and it just tied the knot of the heavyweight dilemma. You had DC, Stipe, and then Francis ending it all. It just felt right, and it was just a beautiful fight. And I was really happy for Francis just to get the firefighter out of there. And I enjoyed that one. I ain't gonna lie to you. And at number 1, I gotta go with UFC 261. I think everyone knew I was going to go with that one. I mean, how could I not? I think this might be the card of the year. This is going to be really hard to beat it. Now, are there some cards coming up that, might challenge it? You never know. UFC 264 is looking pretty good. They don't have a lot of title fights like, 261, but they got a lot of good, marquee matchups, potential good finishes, and a great main event, maybe a great fight. You still got the rest of the year, but I mean, this was a awesome card. Kumar Usman, basically, I'm using the picture of him just screaming. That was everyone that was watching the fight. That exact, form that Usman had. Everyone was screaming like that when Jorge got knocked out. Weili Zhang getting exposed for somewhat being a fraud. I mean, by Rose Namajunas was crazy. And I picked Weili, and I'm still saying that, and I still feel that way. I mean, obviously it sucked, but Jessica Andrade getting dominated by Valentino, at least she made it quick, right? And then, Chris Weidman breaking his fucking leg, and then, Jimmy Crute and Anthony Smith, and dude, it was crazy. The main card itself, like, there wasn't a fight that went past at least, I don't even think there was a fight. Did anything go past the 3rd round? I think Valentina finished Jessica in the 3rd round. So it was just like finish after finish after finish. It was so crazy. I was like, yo, it's too much. It was too much violence. And it's like, it was crazy. It was too crazy. And it was one of the first fights with fans back. So it is what it is. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a really fun time doing these. I cannot wait. The lead up to UFC 264. We got a few more coming up. You know, a few of these top 5 mid-year awards. So stay tuned for that. But 264 is coming up. I am going to do everything in my power to get that live stream coming for that show. People hating on me, my work. I'm going to recap. I don't know what I got to do to watch UFC 264 on Saturday, but if I got to fake a sickness so I get a day off, then I'll do what I gotta do, y'all. I love y'all and goodbye. Oh yeah, do not forget to follow me on my social medias, on Instagram and Twitter. All those links will be down below in the description box. If you're new, subscribe. Go click the notification. Like, comment, share. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. Love y'all and goodbye.